There are plenty of perks that you wouldn't be seen dead using in red rank games, and the reasoning behind the majority of these is obvious. Deja Vu is useless because you should know where generator spawns are. The Mither is useless because, although it technically gives you an extra life, it also takes one away. This is not happening because you shouldn't ever be failing skill checks. But the most hotly debated of all bad perks, self-care. For the uninitiated, self-care allows you to heal yourself at 50% the normal healing speed without requiring a medkit, and increases the efficiency of healing yourself with a medkit by 20%. That second ability is sort of useless, as the primary benefit of self-care is healing without a medkit, so let's pretend that isn't there for the rest of the video. So, healing yourself. Quantitatively, that means that you can go from injured to healthy in 32 seconds without needing another player or a medkit. Now, at low rank, self-care is part of the meta because it sounds great. You can't rely on your teammates all the time, and with self-care, you can take an item other than a medkit and still get healed, even with useless teammates. But here's the problem that becomes clear as your game sense improves. Dead by Daylight is all about timing. While you're being chased, you're creating time for other players to get gens done. While you're on the hook, you've only got a set amount of time before you're deaders. Cleansing dull totems is a trade-off because the killer might not have no-ed and you're potentially wasting 14 seconds. Hesitation in this game is enough to kill, and to get good you have to learn to stick to your guns and make decisions quick. That totem one is a topic for another video, by the way. 5 dull totems, 14 seconds, that's almost the length of a solo generator, and if you don't get the generators done, there's no point even trying to prevent no-ed in the first place, but anyway, I digress. Having another survivor heal you takes 16 seconds, and while healing you're standing in place, totally out of the action, totally unaltering the game for anyone but yourself. Solo generator takes 80 seconds, so if you're somewhere across the map healing yourself with it, you've just wasted 40% of the time it takes to repair. Although, I suppose it'd be more accurate to say 20% versus waiting for a teammate to heal you, but whatever. The time it takes for a survivor to go from phase 1 to phase 2 on a hook is 60 seconds. So by self-carrying across the map, you've wasted over half the time you have to make a save, and realistically, you probably don't have time to get to them before they hit struggle. It's painful to see people use self-care at higher ranks, because it's a sign that they haven't yet realised how essential every precious second of the game is. However, you can't rely on teammates at low ranks. You just can't. Sometimes you can't even rely on them at high ranks, so here's a solution that doesn't require self-care. Just take a medkit. Medkits can be game-changing when used effectively. I used to use up a medkit within the first half of the game, but now realise that, once again, it's all about timing. If you've just rescued someone off the hook and the killer is nowhere to be seen, or even better, chasing someone, save your medkit back. Wait. Only use the medkit when under a lot of time pressure. Be that trying to get someone back up from dying before the killer returns, or healing yourself after escaping a long and risky chase. Or being toxic by hitting yourself in front of the killer while they break a pallet. I mean, it's not like other items are any good since toolboxes got nerfed anyway. There are perks that can have a significantly greater impact on the game than self-care, and by learning to not lean on it, or any crutch perk for that matter, you'll be able to create much more effective builds and become a better player. And to close, if you insist on taking self-care, make sure that you also take No Mid, the Sprint Burst, and Dead Hard as well. They work really, really well together.